Hi folks. Well, tomorrow's the big day when the bike goes in for its MOT, so this last 24 hours, actually to be honest, this last sort of 3 days, I've just been going flat out working on the bike, getting all the electrics and stuff done. I've done so much stuff I don't really know where to start. I'll just start with the thing I'm looking at right now. Speed sensor. I've put that on the rear sprocket because I didn't have anywhere on the front discs that I could put the little magnets. It's got these little magnetic things here which I've stuck onto the rear sprocket with epoxy. I think they're supposed to go on the front disc, to be honest, but my front discs don't really seem to have anywhere suitable I can stick them where they won't kind of get knocked off by the calipers or whatever. So basically what I've done is I've put the speed sensor on the back, just made up a little bracket there, just bolted it on with the chain guard and just ran the lead up to the front into the clocks. So that's the speed sensor done. What else have we done? I've put the air filters back on. I'd taken them off because they were kind of getting in the way a bit when I was doing the wiring, so I put them back and I've put this plate over the top and glued it down. It's just an aluminium plate, and it's I've used a steel cable tie to basically hold it onto the carburetors so that these kind of can't come free. So that's that. I've also done the choke cable. Choke cable's connected in now. Excuse me. That's that there, and I put that up on the handlebars, so it's now got a working choke. As you can see, when I pull, where have we lost it? When I pull that, it moves the choke, and push it back, and it releases the choke again. So I've now got a working choke, so that's quite good. I've wired the horn in. I've wired the clocks in. I've wired, got the new switch gear. The new switch gear came in the post this morning, so that's wired in. I tried to wire in the headlights with the headlight relay. I got a new headlight relay because the old one didn't seem to be working. The headlights wouldn't come on when I switched the switch. I don't know if it was the relay or if it was the way I wired it, but I couldn't get it to work. But I couldn't get it to work with the new relay either. So basically, these switches basically just operate the horn and the indicators. The headlight switches don't actually do anything. What I've done is I've wired the lights in so that they come on automatically when you turn the key. And I have tested that, like, everything kind of works. I'll just show you just now what I'm talking about, right? So okay, so I turn the key and that's the clocks on. So that's the headlights on. The headlights work. The indicators work on the switch, as you can see. The flash rate is kind of high, but they basically work. You can see the other side. They all work fine. That's that. The brake light also works. I don't know how I'm going to show you the brake light because see the tail light works as well. That's the tail light lit up. See if I can reach the brake lever from here. See, there's the brake light. That works fine. So we've got working headlights, tail light, brake lights, indicator. The horn also works, I think. Hang on a sec. Yep, the horn works. The fan works. Basically all kind of works really. So headlights, tail lights, indicator, horn, clocks, radiator fan. The fuel pump I think works as well, because when I had it wired in without the fuel cut-off relay, when I turned the key it made a kind of rattling sound. So I'm thinking that works okay, that works as well. Obviously I know the key the ignition barrel works, the start button works because I started it on the key on the button the other day. Starter motor works because it turned the engine over. Excuse me. The only things really that I can't test until I actually take it out and run it are the ignition and the charging system. But to be honest, I can't see how the charging system would be faulty. Alternator is just, I've checked the alternator. That's the alternator in there, and I had a look at it when I had it apart, and it kind of looks okay. And the cable seems fine. And I've got a new Yamaha R1 regulator on there, and I've wired it all in very carefully. So I'm pretty confident the car charging system should work. That's the ignition CDI there. I've just attached that with a thick cable tie, basically just cable tied onto the chassis, and I've got all the cables. I think I showed that one in a previous video, I can't remember. That's all wired into the coils with these wires here, and so I'm reasonably confident it should fire up tomorrow. Obviously I've not put the tank or the seat on, they've still got to go on. I'll probably put them on first thing this morning. I've put this wee screen on. It's the wee plastic screen that was originally attached to the top of the headlights and I stupidly cut it off. That was another story. But it's I've kind of drilled it and cable tied it down, and it's reasonably solid. I've been around the whole bike and made sure that everything's kind of solid, because I know in MOT tests they do like to make sure that everything's secure. They don't want to find something where everything's kind of like loose and wobbles. Everything on this bike is secure. The mudguard is secure, the lights are secure, the screen's secure, the block's secure, the horn's secure, the choke's secure, you know, levers, switch gear, it's all kind of, you know, the radiator, the hoses, everything, the ignition barrel, anything that you grab hold of, seat unit, number plate, covered with my scary skull thing so that nobody can clone it. Not that I'm saying that any of you guys are going to clone it, but you know, you can't be too careful. Exhaust secure. Anything that you check anywhere on the bike. Actually, that reminds me. Yes, I did cable tie that. I thought I'd forgotten to cable tie that back on, but no, it's back on. These seat mountings, these are secure. Everything's rock solid. There's nothing really on here that's kind of like, do you know what I mean? That you kind of, that doesn't seem to be attached properly, or kind of whatever. That's kind of secure. So I'm pretty confident from that point of view. So that's kind of all the good news. The bad news is when I've been doing the fiberglass on my tank, I've gone and pulled a whole lot of my paint off my chassis, which has spoiled it, which is a real shame. You can see the original aluminium through basically where the paint's been pulled off. What I've done is yesterday night I started, because yesterday night I'd done everything that I could in terms of electrics. There's nothing more that I could do. So what I did was I started building the sides of the tank out, because as you might have seen in my previous videos, they're kind of like, because this is a CBR 929 tank, it doesn't fit properly with the CBR 900 chassis, and so there are huge gaps down the sides. So what I've done is I've built the sides out with using fiberglass and aluminium and gasket rubber. So this is basically what you see here. So I don't know if you can see through the fiberglass, but there's like plate aluminium. So what I've done is I've got several plates of aluminium, and I've cut them and I've shaped them using like mole grips and pliers and shit, and basically stuck them into place with the fiberglass. And then what I've done is I've got more fiberglass, put the fiberglass over the outside, cut out pieces of gasket rubber the right shape, put that over the fiberglass. And then what I've done, I did that yesterday night, and then tonight what I did was made up more fiberglass, and I've just like built over the aluminium with more fiberglass on the inside, and I've put like a good kind of overlap between the aluminium and the tank on both sides, so that it's kind of all secure, because obviously you don't want to kind of like go over a pothole and bits fall off the bike, you know, because that's a bit shit, and it would be a bit embarrassing as well, you know, if you've got a car behind you and, you know, you're riding along and bits come off. You don't want that. So I've used a lot of fiberglass. I've used like probably, I don't know, like half a kilo of David's P40. Been using David's P40 fiberglass. It's like, if you do stuff, anyone that does stuff like this themselves will know, but it's basically like, for anyone that doesn't, it's basically ready mixed fiberglass. It just comes in a tub, and you just put the hardener in and you just mix it up. I'll show you. I think I've got the tin. That's it there. It's Isopon P40. I think the brand is called David's. I can't seem to find the brand name on it there. Well, anyway, maybe it isn't David's. Isopon P40, that's the stuff. It's designed for repairing rust holes in car bodywork and stuff like that. It's kind of what it's designed for, but it works well for a lot of things. So that's basically what I've done. So I basically kind of built the tank out with sides like that, and these sides come down onto the chassis and overlap the chassis a little bit. That's the other side. Obviously it kind of looks a bit rubbish at the moment because it's still got the old, scabby old paint, and you know, I've kind of got a bit of fiberglass over the paintwork and stuff, so it looks a bit kind of, well, it's a work in progress, I suppose. That's the thing, you know, so you can't expect it to look perfect at this stage because it's not completed yet, you know. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I've done so much stuff, I just kind of lost track of everything that I've done, you know. Just so many little bits and pieces to finish off. You wouldn't believe how much stuff there is to do to finish a project off. You look at a motorbike and you think it's an engine and a couple of wheels, but by God, there's so much stuff to do, it's unreal. Oh yeah, put this bolt here, I've made like a stud before. When I put this is the bolt that holds the rear of the tank on, so the rear of the tank sits on there, and the bolt goes up through that hole there in the back of the tank, which I put a rubber grommet through to make it more secure. And before, because it's kind of like a box that I've got, you can't get in the sides or in the back, you can only get in the front. And because when the tank's on, you can't really get in the front, so I was really struggling to do the bolt up before. And then of course I realised I'd been a complete idiot. All I needed to do is put a nut on the top side and tighten it before I even put the tank on. So that's what I've done, I put a nut on there, tightened it up, and that is now a rock solid stud. So when I come to put the tank on, I can just lower the tank down onto that, put a nut on and tighten it up, easy peasy. The only thing that's going to be a bit more difficult about fitting the tank this time around is that I've now, the last time that I fitted it, when I did the fuel system up, I hadn't built the sides out, which meant there was like huge gaps in the side, and that made it kind of easy to do the hoses up and stuff, because you could just put the tank on, then reach in and, you know, do the hose. There's only really one hose to do it. Most of those are just like breather hoses and stuff. It's basically that hose there that goes on the carburetor, that connects onto the fuel filter. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it with the sides on. I think probably what I'll have to do is I'll have to like maybe stand something on top of there or something and like prop the tank up maybe 6 inches, just to give me enough room to get in and join this up and do the hose clip up, and then maybe just like a couple of books at each end or something like that, just sit it on some books just to lift it up a bit, and then do up the hose, take the books out, lower it down, put the bolts on, something like that. I don't know, I'll figure it out somehow. So I'll probably do that first thing tomorrow morning, put the tank on first thing tomorrow morning. I was going to put it on tonight, but I realised that the fiberglass is still wet, and if I do it with the fiberglass wet, I'm probably going to pull even more of my paint off my chassis. So I'm going to leave it till tomorrow morning, I think, and then fit the tank first thing, and then fit the seat. Just the tank and the seat, and that's it, and it's ready to go out the door. And put some petrol in, and hopefully it'll start. If it doesn't start, obviously the MOT's off. So if everyone would just like cross their fingers for me, that would be bloody awesome. So what I'm going to do tomorrow, if it does pass the MOT, I'll probably make a quick video after the MOT and just you know, just to say that basically it's passed the MOT, and hopefully get that uploaded sometime tomorrow evening. So wish me luck, and thanks for watching.